Hash 10 Best Episodes of Star Trek, The Next Generation Season 5 ranked. Season 5 of Star Trek, The Next Generation marked a creative peak for the series, blending philosophical inquiry, thrilling science fiction, and deeply personal storytelling. By this point in the series, the cast had fully settled into their roles, the writers were more confident than ever, and the show's blend of optimism and complexity was sharper and more resonant. With classic character-driven arcs, moral dilemmas, and explorations of identity and humanity, Season 5 delivered some of TNG's most iconic episodes. Here are the 10 best ranked. 10. The Next Phase, Episode 24, What Happens When You're Trapped Out of Phase with Reality? In this high-concept episode, Geordi LaForge and Ro Laren are presumed dead after a transporter accident, but they find themselves invisible and intangible, essentially ghosts aboard the Enterprise. What starts as a clever sci-fi premise becomes a fun mix of suspense and character exploration, especially for Ro. Often portrayed as guarded and skeptical, Ro's experience of death opens her up in surprising ways, and Geordi's calm rationality plays the perfect counterbalance. The episode nails both the adventure and emotional beats, offering a unique twist on the classic Invisible Man story in true Trek fashion. 9. Power Play Episode 15, Possession, Mutiny, and Ancient Prison Spirits? Yes, please. When an away team answers a distress call from a mysterious moon, they unwittingly become hosts to malevolent alien entities. What follows is a tense hostage situation aboard the Enterprise as Data, Troy, and O'Brien fall under alien control. This episode delivers strong performances, particularly from Marina Sirtis and Brent Spiner, who revel in playing their possessed counterparts with menace. The shipboard tension and psychological warfare make Power Play a standout action thriller with a sci-fi twist. 8. Ensign Ro Episode 3. The introduction of Ensign Ro Laren was a game-changer. A disgraced Byron officer forced onto the Enterprise, Ro is instantly magnetic, defiant, brilliant, and burdened with a painful past. She brings a sharp edge to the crew, challenging Picard's sense of order and Riker's authority. Beyond her character, the episode lays the groundwork for what would later become central to Deep Space Nine, the Byron struggle, and the Cardassian occupation. Ro's personal journey mirrors the episode's exploration of loyalty, redemption, and political manipulation, making it one of the most thematically rich episodes of the season. 7. Cause and Effect, Episode 18. If you've ever felt like you're stuck in a loop, this one hits hard, and with a bang. Cause and Effect begins in an explosive fashion. The Enterprise is destroyed. Again. And again. Caught in a time loop, the crew begins experiencing strange déjà vu, ultimately realizing they're reliving the same events over and over. Brannon Braga's script is tightly woven, using repetition to build mounting tension. The episode balances its sci-fi concept with strong character moments, and by the time Data saves the day with a cryptic message, it feels well-earned. With its unforgettable cold open and brilliantly executed structure, this is TNG at its most cinematic. 6. The Inner Light Episode 25. Often hailed as one of the greatest episodes in all of Star Trek, The Inner Light offers a deeply personal and hauntingly beautiful experience. When Picard is struck by a probe's beam, he wakes up living the life of a man named Kamen on an alien world. As years pass, he forms a family, learns to play the flute, and comes to terms with the planet's impending death. But it's all an illusion, a memory implanted so that someone might remember their lost civilization. Patrick Stewart delivers a tour de force performance, capturing Picard's wonder, heartbreak, and eventual acceptance. The Inner Light is a poignant meditation on memory, legacy, and the passage of time, and it lingers with viewers long after the credits roll. 5. Iborg Episode 23. Few episodes challenge the ethics of the Federation as powerfully as Iborg. When the crew rescues an injured Borg drone, they are faced with a moral dilemma: use him as a biological weapon against the Borg Collective, or recognize his growing individuality as Hugh and grant him the right to choose. This episode confronts themes of identity, forgiveness, and the limits of utilitarian thinking. Picard's own trauma from the best of both worlds resurfaces, making his eventual decision to spare Hugh all the more powerful. Borg elevates the series' ongoing conflict with the Borg into something deeply human and compassionate. 4. Jean-luc Episode 2, Jean-luc and Jalad at Tanagra. By the end of this episode, these words, once cryptic, become deeply emotional symbols of connection. In this cerebral and poetic episode, Captain Picard is stranded on a planet with an alien captain who speaks entirely in metaphor. Unable to understand one another, they must learn to communicate as they face a deadly creature together. Jean-luc exemplifies Trek's commitment to exploring new forms of understanding. It's a beautiful metaphor for the struggles and triumphs of communication across cultures. It's also one of Patrick Stewart's most thoughtful performances and a brilliant piece of storytelling that resonates long after. 3. Unification Parts I and II Episodes 7 and 8. The return of Spock was a television event, and Unification delivers. This two-parter explores Spock's clandestine mission to Romulus, where he hopes to reunify Vulcans and Romulans. It's not just a classic character crossover, it's a layered exploration of diplomacy, ideology, and legacy. Leonard Nimoy's presence brings gravitas, while Picard and Data's infiltration of Romulan society adds a layer of espionage and cultural tension. The dynamic between Picard and Spock, two icons of Star Trek, is handled with grace, comparing logic, faith, and their mutual respect for Sarek. The episode stands as a love letter to TOS fans while further enriching TNG's lore. 2. The First Duty, Episode 19. The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth. That line, delivered by Picard, remains one of TNG's most powerful quotes, and this episode shows why. When Wesley Crusher is implicated in a deadly cover-up at Starfleet Academy, the idealism of the Federation is tested. This moral drama pits loyalty against integrity, forcing Wesley and the audience to reckon with the consequences of lying, even for friends. Picard's stern rebuke is one of the most unforgettable moments in the series, solidifying him as a paragon of ethical leadership. With strong performances and a timeless message, The First Duty is Star Trek at its most thoughtful and relevant. 1. Time's Arrow, Part I, Episode 26. Season 5 ends with a cliffhanger that exemplifies TNG's bold creativity and narrative scope. When Data's head is discovered in 19th century San Francisco, the crew must unravel a mystery that spans centuries. Aliens feeding on human life forces, Mark Twain, and time travel hijinks all come together in a tightly written and visually inventive episode that blends humor, suspense, and philosophical musings on fate and identity. Time's Arrow is fun without being frivolous, serious without being self-important, and imaginative without losing character focus. It's a thrilling season finale that perfectly teased Season 6, while also encapsulating everything that makes the Next Generation brilliant, a mix of exploration, intellect, heart, and wonder. Honorable mentions: Violations, a dark exploration of